Well, howdy folks, and welcome to this episode of Vern's Misadventures. Today we're going to be installing CentOS 8. We currently have CentOS 7 installed on this machine, but it has reached its end of support. So we'll be doing a clean install of CentOS 8. To begin, we'll go ahead and go to CentOS.org. And we'll click on Get CentOS Now. Get the CentOS Linux DVD ISO, that's what we want. We'll just pick out a mirror. Yeah, we'll just use that one. Okay, we're going to save it. So we'll put it over here in on my 4 terabyte Seagate in the Linux folder, and next. So this will take a little bit to download. It's a 7 gigabyte download. So after a couple of bad attempts trying to use unit bootin and also using DD to create a flash drive, I realized that the ISO was just too big for my flash drive and I had too many errors, and it failed trying to install the operating system. So the only option left was to go ahead and reboot back into Windows and go ahead and burn the image on a Blu-ray disc. Look at this thing, will you? So now we just got to go to Files. There we are. And then Linux, and then we just go to CentOS 8. Select it, right click, burn disk image. Doink. Then we're going to click. Then we'll click verify disk after burning and burn. Alright, we'll come back after this finishes. My original plan was to try to use the existing CentOS 7 partitions and logical volumes to install CentOS 8. However, I had a lot of trouble trying to do that, and it kept arguing with me as far as the installer went. So it occurred to me that the easiest way to install CentOS 8 would be to simply go into gparted in OpenSUSE, and we'll go ahead and create some unallocated space, and then basically we can just go ahead and automatically let it choose to install CentOS in the unallocated areas, thereby eliminate a lot of the silliness that we were encountering, and then make adjustments from there. Gparted. Devices, SDE. Alright, what kind of a mess have we made of this? Shrink it by 100 gigs and be done with it. Right click, we're going to resize. And we're going to free space following 100,000. Resize. Now I'll check it. Apply all operations. Apply. Alright, we'll close. Alright, so now we have roughly 100 gigs of unallocated space. With that done, we should be able to restart. We'll see what it comes up with for places to put things. Restart. Start to the DVD. Install. Alright, continue. Okay, let's go ahead and get the date. Or the date, install source, selection. We want just a workstation. GNOME applications, internet applications, Office Suite. Done. Network. Turn that on. Done. Only thing left to do now, destination, SDE, automatic, and done. Well, let's see. What I would like to do is to see. There we go. Quick. At least then we'll be able to see. All right. So we got 50 gigs for root and 36 gigs for home. I wonder why the hell it would do it that way. Let's see. That's good. So there we go. Now we can go with 56 here. That should be enough. Done. Accept changes. Alright, so now I guess we can begin the installation. So we gotta set the root password, we gotta set a user. Would you like to ignore this and then continue with the installation? Yes. User. Alright, that's done. Well, it says it's complete. So reboot. We'll pop this out of here. Accept and done. Finish. Alright, so we got our login screen here. English, yeah. Next. Next. Yeah, whatever. Next. Connect your online accounts. Skip. Start using. Oh boy. Once we get through the basic setup, then we're greeted with a little screen here that'll kind of guide you around if it's your very first time using GNOME, and even show some keyboard shortcuts and stuff that even people who've used GNOME for a while might not know about. You know, I learned a thing or two, so it's pretty interesting. Close activities. There are applications. Let's see. Yeah, we got all the basic stuff and nothing really more. I kind of like the new wallpaper. It's pretty neat. Let's see what other ones they have. Oh, I got some different colors. Red. Yeah, it's all the same, only different colors, looks like. Let's see what the red's like. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Alrighty. Alright, so we got the operating system installed, and I thought there would be a good idea to go through a few lessons learned as we conclude this first part of this series. First lesson learned, my 8 gig flash drive failed because it did not have enough free space to accommodate the 7.5 gig ISO. That is a huge ISO. I don't know why it was so big. Anyway, options which I didn't include in this would be to use the other option where you stream it. So the stream ISO, where you basically would get enough to start downloading over the internet the rest of what you would need. That might be an option. Other option is if like you had maybe a 12 gig or larger flash drive, you could put the ISO on that. You could use the option I used if you have a Blu-ray player on your computer, and that was to use a Blu-ray disc, a blank one, which wasn't ideal, but it got us through. Alright, let's move on. So installing CentOS 8. If you're not using the entire disk for CentOS, You can use another operating system or live disk to create unallocated space to avoid confusion and or possible data loss. This installer on this operating system it doesn't communicate very well with you like some of the others will, where you can actually choose the partitions you want to use. Ubuntu is a good example of this. You can actually, like if you're going to put a newer version of Ubuntu on your computer or a different version of Ubuntu on your computer, it'll say, one of the options it'll give you is to overwrite the existing Ubuntu operating system. If it had an option like that, that would have been beautiful, because it would have just overwritten my CentOS 7 that I already had. I tried deleting the existing spots there. Now it uses its logical volumes to create spaces to create its home and also its root partitions, but you need an actual partitions for like the boot and some other things, and it became very confusing to me, and I was afraid I was going to overwrite something for one of my other operating systems. So I just quit the installer and I went back and I created some unallocated space, and then I just let it go with the unallocated space. It worked out okay. The installer is just not my favorite, I'll just say that. So the best way to do it is to create your space first and then go through and you can let it kind of automatically partition. Then you can click the blue text to view and edit. Like what I had to do with mine, it originally set it up with a 50 gig root and a 30 gig home. Well, I swapped that around to a 30 gig root and a 50 gig home. And then, like I say, you can make changes. Just do the update settings as you make changes to each one. You just highlight it on the left side, then go to the right side, change the numbers, and then click update settings, and it'll do that for you. So that works out well. Alright, other considerations. Because I have a multi-boot system, I had a problem because it installed CentOS 8 and it overwrote my MBR, the master boot record, on my hard drive. So I lost my OpenSUSE bootloader. And you might say, well, why does that matter? Just use the one from CentOS. Well, not all grub configurations support a BTRFS file system, and there was no option to boot OpenSUSE. So I recorded as I fixed it. I'll probably be putting a video out showing how I fixed it. It's not difficult, but stay tuned for that. Next step, so make sure you're subscribed to my channel or check back and click on the bell to receive notification when I upload part 2 of this series, where I will cover post-installation steps such as adding the user to the sudoers file, installing support for NTFS file systems, some GNOME extensions, and a couple other fun things, okay? And with that, I want to thank you for watching. I hope you found the information helpful. I would like to invite you to check out some of my other videos and consider subscribing, as I already covered in the previous slide, but I felt like it was a good last thing to tell you. Hey, y'all take care, and we'll see you next time.